Hello and welcome to Pokésports, a competitive Pokemon podcast. I'm Mike and I play with one Pokemon on the field.
I'm Kevin. I play with -5 videos on the field.
Kevin just made a big ol' oopsie. Oop-de-doop-de-doo.
Oh, no. If you want to hear more about it, listen to the Patreon only podcast.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I will cry.
And if you spend the rest of this time not figuring out what happened, just watch the next couple of Kevin videos and you might figure it out.
Fair.
Because, oh boy, it's going to be a fun time. I am all kinds of excited for the Indigo disc. We got a new trailer today, and that's what most of this is going to be us talking about, if not like all of it.
I want to preface this by saying I think that trailer ruined my whole day.
I would kind of agree.
I've noticed that I've been kind of, you know how you just have those days that you just kind of feel dreadful? Today's been a very dreadful day for me. I feel like I've been tired. I've been caffeine deprived. I feel a little sick. I probably shouldn't be talking for another 5 hours, but I will. And I think it all started because I went to bed at 4, and then I woke up at 8:30 for a trailer.
8:30 for a trailer.
Not only did I wake up at 8:30 for a trailer, but there wasn't much in that trailer.
Not at all.
And you know, the smart thing for me to do after watching a nothing trailer would be to go back to sleep.
Right.
I didn't do that.
No.
So here we are, 10 p.m.
10 p.m. You took a nap, though.
Yeah, that was like a 30-minute nap, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't do that while I'm drinking tea, Michael. Please refrain from clicking the fart noise when I'm consuming a beverage.
Don't worry, I'll make sure. I'll make sure you're well taken care of. Don't worry. Your next drink is going to be just so good.
It'll be on the camera.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, it kind of did set the pace for the whole day. It has been so long since I've had to think about trailers or I've had to think about, new Pokemon drops. I guess Teal Mask was one, but this was a big reminder for me that like never as a content creator should we ever assume that upcoming news is going to be content worthy.
That's fair.
There are so many people who this morning jumped on stream and was like, all right, time to go and watch this trailer together with people and get all hype about it. And that's going to make content. And then they're like, okay, here's the trailer. Time to watch it. Time to get excited. And everything that they showed was like, yeah, we know this.
Yeah, it's kind of big nothing
reminding us.
Yeah. I think it legitimately felt like one of those trailers that's like, hey guys, just in case you forgot, there's a game coming out next week. Mm-hmm. Just thought we'd remind you. I mean, don't get me wrong, the cutscenes look great. We got introduced to some new characters, but I think a lot of people were expecting us to learn what the heck the new terror type is, what this new mechanic that could make or break our game is going to be.
Right.
And they're holding that close to their hearts. They're not revealing it. They're not announcing it. They're not even hinting towards it.
What any kind of new Pokemon are, apart from our Chaludon. They didn't even show, what's his name, Roaring Neck and Data Horse.
Or the presumable Entei Paradox and Terrakion Paradox. I guess we were expecting to see that too, but I guess they're going to keep that close to those cards close to them. There's the whole Diplin evolution that we know by accident because Eviolite works on it.
Right.
That we were still not shown anything about. So I guess we will see. Yeah. I have high hopes. I like what they did with Kieran. He like tied his hair up in a bun looking all evil and spooky.
Yeah, Kieran really reinvented himself. And I'm here for it. Good for you, little boy. We're going to go over every little bit of that trailer because although it was somewhat disappointing for the competitive folks, it was the Pokemon site did drop a lot more information than that trailer showed.
Okay, that's good.
So this is going to serve as both a way for people to learn a little bit more about what was shown, and remind you of what you kind of have to look forward to. First of all, we've got Ditto Tetris.
What? just Ditto Tetris?
We've got a little Ditto Tetris guy.
Wait, is this a new terrestrial form of Ditto?
I wish I knew. I'm going to show you a picture real quick. This is the picture of Tetris Ditto.
Yeah, lay it on me. Let me see Tetris Ditto.
Mm-hmm. The article here says,
wrong.
I know. New information about Blueberry Academy's League Club. This is a place where you can complete some BBQs. Now, BBQs, of course, are blueberry quests.
Yeah, not a barbecue, in case you guys were confused.
I can't believe they named it barbecue, and I love that. They've made dailies, essentially. The dailies will have you do things like, what do we got here? Successfully sneak up on one Pokemon and surprise them with a battle. Or terrestrialize your Pokemon to defeat a wild Pokemon. Just stuff that you can do
incredibly easy
over the course of the day and earn yourself some BP.
What does BP get you?
Battle points.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
All right. So just items and stuff, most likely.
Right. You can use the BP to do things that says like add features to the club room or invite other trainers, to the academy, which is interesting because some of those trainers, I think, can be gym leaders.
I did see gym leaders interacting with each other in the trailer. That was always kind of neat. It was like I forgot who it was. I think it was
Iono.
Was it Iono? Iono was there, but I also think, who's the guy that lost his wallet? The water type gym leader.
Kofu.
Volton Veluza. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kofu was talking to Larry about like cooking. Yep. And Larry was like, yeah. See, I don't think I have time to do that. Or like something Larry would say.
Something Larry. Yeah. Ooh, it'll have you searching for Ditto that have transformed into blocks and hidden themselves around the terrarium.
Oh, that's fun. I found that one.
Yeah, I found the one.
Ditto Tetris.
After you talk with a few special coaches a few times, they'll offer to trade Pokemon with you. The Pokemon they trade you will have a ribbon appearing for the first time in the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, the partner ribbon. If you have a Pokemon that wear this ribbon, it will be bestowed with a title containing the name of its original trainer that will display when the Pokemon is sent into battle. So the explanation that they gave, they showed Iono doing a trade with a Magnemite. And then when you send out that Magnemite, it says, go Iono's Magnemite.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So you're borrowing it.
And immediately the internet hopped right on this and was like, this is a game changer if they do this right. Because what this means now is if they go and say, all right, world's winner this year, you are going to go and, get their, Gastrodon as a free, what's it called? Mystery gift.
Yeah.
If it has that partner ribbon, you send that out and it's like, oh, you've got Steve's Gastrodon.
Because Gastrodon's winning worlds again is what
Mike's saying. Because Gastrodon won worlds again. Yep.
That's actually cool. I'm a big fan of this.
I think it's a really good idea. Mm-hmm.
I almost took a double take because I was like, oh, it's a new Magnemite form. Because Iono kind of has weird looking Magnemites on her head that were never really made into Pokemon.
No.
But it's not. It's just a title. But I kind of like it. I like it a lot.
No, it's a really cool thing. You've also got new throwing styles. You can donate BP to Blueberry's Academy's baseball club and change how you throw your Pokeball, which I do think is really cool.
Did you see how in the trailer too there was someone that was doing a Z move pose for the electricity?
I did see that.
I don't even know how to do it. It's one of those.
Yep.
So yeah,
people
that's
listening,
cool.
I just flailed in the arms.
And then also you get a nice little sneak peek of what the uniform is for the trainer academy too. You get to actually look like a normal person and not a school student, alumni again. So that's cool. We're just going to have a regular shirt and regular pants. Big fan.
Which is nice because this is ostensibly the last game for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So this DLC kind of needs to be the look that they were assuming that Scarlet and Violet would be the entire time.
Ooh, that's Mike making a hot take that they're not going to make another DLC.
Well, I don't think they're going to make a DLC. No, I think they're going to wait for the next gen console and rinse and repeat.
Little do you know, they like money.
They didn't surprise us with Sword and Shield.
That's also fair.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We've also got legendary Pokemon from throughout the series are going to be able to join your team in static encounters, which is
That's
huge.
actually really nice. And for those that care about shiny hunting, these are not shiny locked, so you can reset for them.
Mm-hmm. So you can go and get yourself a shiny Urshifu, which I don't think you could before.
No, Urshifu isn't one of them.
No, Cutfu is a static encounter.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Oh, it's going to be a good time. You can go and shiny hunt for those Pokemon. During your adventures in the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero Part 2, the Indigo Disc, it says, you can encounter certain legendary Pokemon from throughout the series, and if you find one, you'll be able to battle it and add it to your team. Now, in order to encounter these legendary Pokemon, it says, first, talk to Snacksworth at Blueberry Academy. Can we just talk about Snacksworth for a second? Because I think he's my new favorite person.
This reminds me of Shieldbert and from what was the other name?
Swordsworth, I think.
I think it was Swordswell and Shieldbert or something like that.
Swordswell and Shieldbert.
From Galar, we now have their cousin Snacksworth.
I love Snacksworth. I'm going to name every Pokemon that I catch in the Indigo Disc Snacksworth. If you met certain conditions, you'll be able to get snacks from Snacksworth. Go figure. That let you encounter specific legendary Pokemon back in the Paldea region. Snacksworth will share his extensive knowledge about these legendary Pokemon with you, as well as tales of his heroic encounters with them.
Okay, man's a G apparently.
Snacksworth has met like every legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, but he hasn't caught a single one. What a loser.
He doesn't need to. He's Snacksworth. What's Snacksworth's like signature Pokemon, do you think? I think it's Alchemy. I think it's got to be Alchemy.
Darkspun. But it's probably
Darkspun. Oh, just every one of his Pokemon.
Every edible Pokemon.
Yes.
Swirlix, Darkspun, and Alchemy.
Can I eat this?
Perfect Vanillux.
Oh, 100% Vanillux. Yes. So far we've got Vanillux, Dodog, and Cream. Perfect.
Swirlix. Got
Swirlix. Yeah.
It's cotton candy.
Okay. We got Lickitung.
Oh, God. You can eat that if you want.
No. It's not about eating the Pokemon. It's about it eats the snacks with Snacksworth. All right.
Oh, it's just his friend.
Yes.
That's his partner.
So you'll get a snack from Snacksworth. You'll go back into Paldea and you'll be able to catch it somewhere in the realm.
The one thing I really like about this trailer, beyond the legendaries, is that for the longest time, I was like, why the heck is this called the Hidden Treasures of Area Zero when we haven't even been to Area Zero yet? Again. And it looks like in the trailer, we go deeper into Area Zero. So nice.
Because you know what I think that the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero Part 1 was about? It was establishing Kieran as your Shadow the Hedgehog, like, Foley character. Kieran is the anti-hero of this story.
Fair.
We didn't have that. Arvin, he was nothing. He was nothing in this story. His parents, spoiler alert, his parents were like the evil, the evil people in the game, but also robots. They were the professors.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't even that powerful of a story. So they needed to make Kieran, I think. That's what I think. Hey, listen to this. In the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero Part 1, the Teal Mask, go and you meet up with Kieran. Kieran, who at the beginning is just a normal kid. Kind of indistinguishable from the rest of the other, losers walking around Paldea. Or wherever they are. Kitakami, that was it.
That was
it. Now,
Now,
by the end of the story of part 1, Kieran is ready to like murder you. Murder. Like he's willing to go the distance. Did it just didn't play anymore and didn't want to?
It looks like Kieran murdered the soundtrack.
Kieran murdered record scratch sound. And like that's an interesting story. Kieran's like, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be better than ever. And then you see him in the trailer and it's like, oh no, he's back. And I think he's better than ever, actually.
He has his hair tied up now.
He's got his hair tied all the way up.
Man had a glow up.
Yes, he did.
Hey, we can fly now, but like actually control where we're going. It's incredible. It's like this is what should have came out before.
Oh, I really hope that this is an actual thing. And that this isn't just like, you know, you can fly, but with limitations, but you can fly.
I think Mike's the kind of person to like see a mountain, climb it, and use that as the shortcut. Like you're supposed to go around the mountain. Mike is like, no, up. No, the worst thing that they could have done is give me rock climb. And they did. And I just was like, okay, well, I guess I'm using this now. Forever.
I'm going to use mountains as routes. Thank you very much. Climb up this mountain, beat a gym leader, fly to the next, glide on over to the next one. Cause I got real high up there because of these whole mountains. Awesome.
I guess we should actually talk about the legendaries that. Yeah. There's another one coming. Oh, Mike turned it off. Oh, there it is.
So the legendary Pokemon that you can get in Paldea, and again, I should stress this is in Paldea. They are not keeping you in whatever this Unova-like place is, the Blueberry Academy, the terrarium. They're not keeping you in there. They're saying, you know, enjoy your time in the terrarium, but once you get a snack from Mr. Snacksworth, you're absolutely going back.
You're going home.
Yeah.
That's a good way to fill up a lot of the Paldean space too. Yeah. So the interesting thing is that there's a lot of Pokemon that weren't included, and we'll talk about the Pokemon that weren't included later when it comes to legendaries. And this is kind of what makes me feel like we might be getting a third part or something, but I don't know. Or they're just making conscious decisions not to bring them all back. Yeah. So we have the obvious ones, Raikou, Entei, Suicune. They gave him Paradox form, so obviously you'd bring them back. We have Ho-Oh, Lugia coming back from Gen 2 as well. Latios and Latias from Generation 3.
Pretty good.
Kyogre, Groudon were already in the game thanks to Home, so they didn't include this as like a new Pokemon that we didn't know about, but Kyogre and Groudon are also here.
You can catch them now.
Yes.
In Paldea, so
they're catchable. Cobalion, Virizion, and Terrakion. Those are also the new Paradox friends, so obviously their unparadox forms are coming back. We have Kyurem, Zekrom, Reshiram, Generation 5 stuff, which also includes Kyurem White and Kyurem Black. Reshiram, not Reshiram, so Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma, which also includes Duskmane and Dawnwings. But here's the kicker. Here's a Pokemon that they specifically don't have in Home and that they didn't include in the trailer or that weren't confirmed at all.
Okay.
Yveltal, Zygarde, and Xerneas.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically those three. And also from Generation 7, you have Tapu Koko, Tapu Bulu, Tapu Lele, Tapu Fini. And it's very interesting that they chose those selectively. I mean, I guess you could also say, hey, they didn't bring the Reggies back either. But they might have just not announced that because you have Regieleki, you have Regidrago. You probably are going to get the other ones too. I don't think Pokemon has ever brought just half of a trio back, or I guess the Reggies aren't a trio anymore, but you know what I mean? You wouldn't bring Mesprit back and then not bring Azelf and Uxie. You bring them all in.
Right. Like you wouldn't bring in, and in that same vein, like you wouldn't bring in Azelf, Uxie, and Mesprit without bringing in Dialga and Palkia. Like I don't think there is maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this exists, but I don't think there is a game that includes those three without those two.
Yeah, I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Dialga and Palkia, I guess it's worth mentioning there's a current raid event that you can go get a Dialga and Palkia in, so those are in the game as well.
Mhm.
But what's interesting about those not being included specifically is what that means for the metagame, because Xerneas, if it came back, Xerneas with a Terra type is actually kind of gross, which makes me feel like maybe this was intentional.
Oh, that's so true.
There are calcs you can run with Fairy Aura, Fairy Terra, Geomancy, Moonblast being able to one-shot a Zacian. That defeats the purpose of Zacian.
It defeats the purpose of not very effective.
Yeah.
That defeats the purpose of type matchups.
Mm-hmm. So
that's wild.
And I think that Xerneas was probably the only problem with that because, but like you don't allow Xerneas in, you also can't allow Yveltal and Zygarde in because same vein, right? You won't let one in without the other. And the Tapu ones are really interesting too because I feel like they could have done really well in the current meta to the point where Tapu Koko would have enabled every single Iron Pokemon to actually use Quark Drive.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're not going to have that because it's not included. It's not here. It's not in home. It's not in the DLC. Who knows when it'll pop out? I mean, this could be a reason. I think the reason behind this was like, hey, we want people to use Miraidon and Koraidon. They shouldn't need Koko. But you would have been allowed to use Koko in Regulation F. Now we got to wait until Regulation etc. before we're actually able to use Electric Terrain with our Iron Pokemon.
I think I would have loved to use Tapu Koko in Regulation F.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Having that with Quark Drive Pokemon is just, that's real good.
We
Finally,
only have 2
an
terrains.
Electric Terrain user that works.
I would have liked using Finny right now. Like, I feel like with all the Spore and all the Burn and everything running around, just having a Pokemon that can stop that from happening that's a bulky water type, I'll take that. Give me a Pokemon that can hard counter Urshifu water, a single strike, or both Urshifus with that guard. It's Finny. That's the one.
I forgot how relevant Tapu Fini was in VGC.
It's good. Yeah.
It's really good.
It's really good. To the point where like it took Primarina off the map. It was like, okay, we played Primarina for like 1 month, but now we're all playing Finny now. It's a blast.
Well, I guess we can go back to playing Primarina. What does Primarina get?
A Liquid Voice.
Liquid Voice, yes.
All of its water moves. I mean, all of its normal moves turn into water moves.
Right.
Or something like that. Or
do
all
you
of its
think we're
sound
going to
moves.
use that again?
I think the meta needs a good water fairy type. I wouldn't put it beyond us. I mean, remember the guy that's coming back, Michael? Incineroar.
Oh.
No, not yet. That's a problem for later.
I didn't know who you're talking about. Yeah, right. That's true.
Incineroar. Primarina kind of checks that guy a little bit. So that's
now, hold
nice.
on. I just played against Ludicolo Surf Spammer today.
Why?
I don't know. Sometimes I play Pokemon. And when I was doing that, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I wonder if this is going to change at all in Indigo Disc, if there's going to be any kind of new surf spam users. And I don't think it's actually surf spam. I think it's Primarina Hyper Voice, Liquid Voice. Because you don't need, I guess surf works with like your hydration Pokemon and whatever, but I think the high meta that uses Pokemon with like hydration and storm drain, like they don't really exist in the high meta. Now you can set up Rain, still have Primarina, use the Hyper Voice, and just do a ton of damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be one of the first things I'm going to want to play.
Yeah, I will say this. Primarina was a big Dynamax mon too, though. Dynamax helped it a lot. It might struggle against Rillaboom, but again, if you're running Primarina and Incineroar on your team, what is a Rillaboom, right? You have answers to it.
That's true. But to that, I say that if Sylveon had a way to boost its Hyper Voice by another 50%, I think it would be cracked.
That's fair. The difference between Liquid Voice and Pixelate is that Liquid Voice doesn't boost it, though. That's the issue.
Liquid Voice doesn't
boost it.
Boost. Oh, okay.
It just changes the type. Pixelate boosts it an additional 30% and changes.
Well, I guess that's
type.
what the rain's for. So it's less of a boost than I'm thinking then.
Mm-hmm.
That's too bad. Why didn't they make it do that?
I
They should totally made it do that.
I have no idea.
Maybe they fixed it.
No.
You know what? They fixed it. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Hey, it's possible. Listen, it's possible all these starters coming in all just got different abilities and we're not figuring it out until the day the game comes out, the same way that Empoleon happened. I'm pretty sure no one knew about Empoleon until the day it released, and we're just like, oh,
right.
Okay. And
this is here.
They gave Wind Rider to Shiftry. I'm curious to see what they changed there, because that's the stuff we're not going to know about until the day of. Because you can say, oh, hey, Toucannon's coming back, and everyone's like, okay, whatever, Toucannon's coming back. But then if they're like, oh, we gave it Wonder Guard, by the way, now I'm paying attention.
Oh, you know that Pokemon that you used to laugh at? Well, get ready to laugh a little bit less. Probably you will continue to laugh at it, though, because it is Toucannon and Shiftry. Like, I was so excited for Shiftry when I learned that I got Wind Rider. I'm like, oh, they changed something about it. They updated this Pokemon. They never update Pokemon.
Nope.
But it wasn't enough of an update.
They need updated stats. This is the problem. There's too many other things holding it back. Like, I appreciate the try. They definitely made it better, like, for people that play Smogon tiers. They made it better in those respective tiers. And I'm sure it's doing great wherever it's at. But, when it comes to like the high meta, high competitive, it still can't keep up. And I think even Bramblegast can keep up more than Shiftry can.
Absolutely. Yeah. They've power crept Shiftry into Bramblegast a long time ago. So there's also the yet undiscovered place within Area Zero, but I mean, this is a competitive Pokemon podcast. We don't need to talk too much about the story, but hey, there's a story to this game. Who'd have imagined it? You'll be able to go into a tree.
There's some mass outbreaks.
There are some mass outbreaks.
From Milcery, Litwick, and Florges.
And I want to know why.
Christmas, maybe? I don't know. The Litwick is Christmas.
Cream, flowers, and fire? Very Christmassy.
Honestly, it says get festive with mass outbreaks. I'm assuming it's Christmas.
But how is that festive? I don't understand.
I don't know either. It's okay.
But
we don't have to understand.
It's fine.
Also, there's a shiny Lucario you can get for some reason.
Yes, definitely go and get that shiny Lucario. There are codes. I have the codes. Here we go. It's called Shiny Buddy. It's your mystery gift from between now.
Yeah, now in January.
Now until January 3rd. So if you use Shiny Buddy, but the I is a 1, SH1NYBUDDY, you'll be able to get a shiny Lucario.
And a Cherish Ball. That's actually pretty cool.
There's
handing out shinies now.
It knows Flash Cannon, Aura Sphere, Bullet Punch, and Ice Punch.
Can't decide what it wants to do. It's going to do both.
Just going to punch.
Punch.
And then you can also, this one's a little bit more interesting here. Runs until December 21st. So that's actually much less time. That's 2 weeks from now. Wow. You can go and get yourself a Darkrai.
Just because. So either you can get yourself a shiny Lucario for the new year, or you can get a sleep paralysis demon for Christmas. New moon is coming, and all the I's are 1s and all the O's are 0s.
Right.
Why?
I think when you're putting in a password, you can't select I or O. I think that's Z. Like not in there.
Yeah, I, O, and Z aren't in there.
I, O, and Z. Why Z? I actually understand I and O, because that is because you have like
a common mistake.
1s and 0s, but I don't understand for 2. Oh,
One,
it's
0.
2.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. It's the number 2.
1 0 0 0 1 1 1 0.
Okay. So new moon is coming. All O's are 0s and the I is a 1. You can't miss it if you're putting it in. But yeah, don't miss this Darkrai event. It's going to be real good.
It's a mythical Pokemon.
So here's the meat and potatoes of what we're actually talking about on this podcast today. It's Regulation Set E.
Wait, this is the
one that
last
we're still
podcast.
in. Is it?
Before the game?
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Ooh.
We're going to be playing this game while we're doing the podcast.
Live.
Live. Regulation Set E, the regulation that we are currently in.
Yes, that's the one.
When the Indigo disc is released, we will still be in Regulation E until the end of the month. It doesn't become Regulation F until January, but we'll all have played for 2 weeks and we'll all have probably gotten ready for it by then. But in the meantime, if you're still looking to play competitive, there are a couple things that you need to know. If you're going online to go and play this game, you are going to be able to use the new Terra type, the TMs that are dropped in this DLC, and any new held items.
That's crazy.
But if you're looking to have any kind of tournaments, any kind of TPCI tournaments, which are there any?
I don't know, but there must be if they decided to say any of this.
Right.
I guess premier challenges and stuff like that are included, right?
That's true. MSSs and just locals even.
Yeah.
TPCI rules do not allow the use of the new Terra type TMs and the new held items. And oh man, when we talked about this before the podcast, you came up with a pretty good reasoning for that. Do you remember
this is just them not knowing how to fix it, right?
Oops.
Here's the thing. Technically, illegal Pokemon should not be allowed online. And technically that is true. But if you teach the illegal Pokemon formerly legal moves, they go through. So like for the longest while, Expanding Force Hatterene was allowed on ladder, even though it's not allowed in competition and it's not a legal Pokemon. And part of me feels like the reason why it did work is because Expanding Force was coded as a TM that is now going to get introduced in Indigo Disc, which is why the game never saw it as an issue.
Right.
And the fact that they're doing this just means they probably can't resolve it, or they don't want to resolve it. I don't know. They're just gonna, if it's in the game, it's in the game. They're not gonna lock them out.
Which I
it's
mean,
weird.
Let's go back to the whole Indeedee Trick Room thing.
Yeah. Now
like,
it can just learn it though. So they think they just 180'd it. You can TM it now.
Exactly. And that might be the thing where like, oh, it was kind of always. Did they make it so that the Trick Room was a TM?
Yes.
In Teal Mask?
Yeah. They changed it in Teal Mask.
Well, there you go. So
they didn't add Trick Room
that
as
was
a TM.
planned from the beginning. What?
No, Trick Room was always a TM, but Indeedee couldn't learn it. They made Indeedee learn it in Teal Mask. Just because they were like, yeah, we can't stop them from doing this. The problem is too big.
We'll just close the loop. It's fine. What are they going to do? Just like make people's Indeedees forget en masse?
They could not allow them. Sorry, this is a ban. Did they do that with other Pokemon?
Right.
What do you think Regulation F's going to be? I mean, not F, G. Is that is that one restricted?
So, okay. Yeah, this is a good topic.
Because G is probably the world's meta if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going all the way to August with F. That's crazy that we're going to August with F too. That's a lot of Pokemon. That's a lot of videos.
That is a lot.
Not enough showcases.
That's so much.
By the time we get to April, we're going to be playing with like Scatterbug. It's going to be wild.
Kevin, our top episode was 149. Never underestimate the bundle.
Yeah, never underestimate the bundle.
That was our number 1 episode this year.
Heck yeah. Oh, you just did like a Spotify thingy?
I'm just going on to our Spotify so that I can check our Q&A. And the first thing it popped up with was Wrapped. And it was like, your top episode was 149. Never underestimate the bundle. And I'm like, why?
Why? Well, I think I know why. Because when we made a tier list, we both said that bundle would suck.
Oh,
We put it in C tier. We were wrong.
Kevin, it was streamed 594% more than your average episode.
You never underestimate the bundle,
What?
baby. Right now, you know what you're doing right now? You're underestimating the bundle.
I guess I
You never
underestimated.
do that.
I underestimated the bundle episode.
You're never
That is
supposed to
crazy.
do that.
Anyway, thank you to all the people who discovered us in 2023. Here's to 2024. It's going to be a good time. Last year, last year, I posed the question. Oh, I should do that. On the last podcast of the year, I'm going to pose a question that I'm not going to answer until the end of the next year.
Good luck remembering. Write it down.
What are your goals? My question from last week was, if you haven't been able to make it out to a regional, what's holding you back from doing so?
Ooh, location.
What is usually, yeah. So if you could give like 3 things that keep you from going to a regional, because I know one of them is going to be location always. It's going to, I assume for you, it's going to be like location, money, something. What are your top 3?
It's mostly location.
Yeah.
Am I not allowed to choose location? I go out to most regionals. The thing is, like, I won't go out to a regional unless I know other people are going. So I guess it's partial anxiety. But it's mostly because I don't like being in places with people that I don't know very well. So I need comfort buddies. So if I have a big group of friends going, I'll get FOMO'd into going too.
So it's location, FOMO, and I put the word money in your mouth. Is that accurate? It's like,
sure.
If it costs too much, I don't really want to go.
Yeah. Too far to lose. Yeah, it's okay.
Sure. I mean, yeah, because there's some people here, because I'm looking at this first one here by Steiner, who says, I assume it's because tickets are expensive. The tickets are gone early and you have to go by airplane to most locations. Again, expensive. I have participated myself this year, so I'm just guessing. Yeah, I would think so as well. It's for most people, it's going to be the fact that you have to take an expensive airplane. I don't think the tickets are that much of a problem, honestly.
Yeah.
Because if you win, if you get even like the top 16, you make so much compared to the price of that ticket. It's just the fact that like you have to devote so much for plane fare. That's rough.
Mm-hmm.
But the nice thing about that is that like once in a while, maybe once or twice a year, there's going to be a regional that chances are you can get to in some kind of non-expensive way.
Yeah, because they're everywhere.
Because they happen all over the place. Right.
Mm-hmm. And if you really just want to go for your first time, you're not super competitive about the game, you just want to experience a Pokemon tournament, we've always said that internationals are the one to go to.
Totally.
Like find your way to an internationals. Going to an internationals on a plane is a lot more enjoyable than like going to any regional that you'll ever attend. It's a different viewing experience.
Great Shadow says mainly school. I'd love to go once that's completed. Yeah, totally. There's a wide population of the people who play this game that are either in secondary, post-secondary, and just don't have the bandwidth to take that kind of time off of their studies. And that's fair. That's what the streams are there for. Foxing says, no regionals around me, no Switch Online, school. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Why do you listen to this podcast? No offense. Like, no, I'm not trying to be offensive. Just like,
I don't think like
no online Switch either.
I don't think the majority of people who listen to us are
playing the game
to these competitive events.
Well, they said they don't play Switch Online, so they don't even play. I guess they could play.
They just play offline.
Yeah, Showdown.
Yeah, maybe they have like, oh, that's true. Maybe they have like a sibling or a close friend who they go and play with.
They beat up that their little brother with a Gengar or something.
Exactly.
I got a Mewtwo. Okay, don't worry.
Ultra Beast Pro ignored the question. Said, I thought it would be interesting to point out the fact that we might be able to use Terrapagos, Dipplin, Evo, etc. in late Regulation E, like we did with Ogerpon at the end of Regulation D. This was said 3 days ago before all of this.
It looks like it doesn't say specifically on the Twitter post that we'll be allowed to use Terrapagos, but
we could use Ogerpon.
Yeah, anything is possible when you're part of a team, you know?
That's it. We were able to use Ogrepon when Teal Mask dropped.
Was it intentional? We still don't know.
We're still not sure. We're pretty sure it wasn't. Honestly, pretty sure it wasn't. But that's okay. That's part of the fun. Russell says time and money because I'm in the Northeast US and would have to travel a ways to attend. Yeah, I feel like being in any one of the corners of the US or anywhere in Canada usually means that you have to do some pretty sizable travel if you want to go to like more than one.
Northeast. You must be really far northeast.
You're Northeast.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they must be even farther. Like you can go higher.
I guess.
You can go to Maine.
What if they're
New
your
Hampshire.
neighbor? What if the person who was saying that was actually your neighbor? Yeah.
They walk through this door. It's me.
Hey, it's me. Dropped Mo Wallet says Pokésports was my Spotify #1 podcast of the year.
Woo!
I'm planning to go to LA as my first. None have been closed. Salt Lake City was closest, but still 8 hours away, and I haven't been playing long. That's awesome. That's
LA,
awesome.
I feel like LA is going to be a good one. Yeah.
I feel like it is as well. I want to go to LA for it. I don't think it's in the cards for me this year, but I am probably going to just go to LA at some point next year, just because. Yeah. I'm also doing a lot of stuff like with other people as well. So like going to LA actually has a purpose for me now. So it's like, I really want to even more. Let's see. As a new player, travel costs make it not worth it. Yeah, I feel like this is a very common thing that we're gonna read in these. I'd likely go if it ever ends up within driving distance for a weekend. Yeah. What's the furthest you would drive for a regional?
2 hours.
2 hours?
2 or 3.
We drove to Connecticut, didn't we?
That was 3 hours, but it felt like more because we were stuck in traffic for an hour and a half. Making
that's so true.
Small talk with our friend Stephanie, who had to go pick up her kids at school.
She sure did. She
and
was in
now
the car
we're just like,
us, yeah.
Man, we're playing Breath of the Wild.
Kevin had his car parked. He was playing Breath of the Wild because Tears of the Kingdom was coming out that weekend.
Traffic stopped.
Traffic stopped for an hour. Like it was bad. But that one was nice. That would have sucked if it was just you in a car or just me in a car sitting there for an hour.
Thank God I had my Switch.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, great. I'm actually the one time I had to be in traffic. This is fine.
Yeah. You had your Switch, you had me, and you had music.
Memes.
Were we listening to SoundCloud for a long time? I think we were.
Yeah. Absolutely. We had a whole anime playlist too.
We had an anime playlist, and then we had like a SoundCloud.
Then we watched all of Demon Slayer when we got to the beginning.
Sure,
not Demon Slayer.
Chainsaw
it
Man.
Was Chainsaw Man. Yeah, the other demon that slays. Yeah.
Have you've watched Demon Slayer?
No.
Though, right? Okay. Well, that's the next time.
Charlotte.
Yeah. Distance money, disliking Regulation E. Here's a new one. Okay, Bob says disliking Regulation E, school, and as a senior, parents don't want to fly out for a video game, but gone to some locals. Absolutely, yeah, that makes sense. Disliking Regulation E. Disliking a regulation, is that enough to make you not want to go to a regional?
No, I'll just play Go instead now. If I hate a regulation that much, I can pop in Go. Let's go.
Because Kevin has gone and almost made himself a competitive team in these couple of weeks.
Yes, I have so many spreadsheets, Michael.
Oh, no.
I will show you my spreadsheets one day when you're ready.
Do you think it's all people using the same Pokemon?
In what?
In Go? When people go to like Go competitions, is it just like Min Xiao, Executor, whatever?
There's
like,
a meta, yeah. But
up against each other?
The way I see Go is that the composition and the leads are the most important part, right?
Yeah.
So having a lead with not too many weaknesses is kind of what you try to go for, just so that you can have the most favorable matchups right away. Because if you sacrifice the switch early on, you're at a severe disadvantage. So with that said, just having a team composition that can cover your weaknesses very well is very important. Whether that backline is like top meta, or that backline just happens to be that one Pokemon with the perfect type combination and number 500, that's what matters more, right? So looking at through like the top 100, pretty much the top 200 are all usable. You will see like the top 10 more than most, but they're all very usable.
Okay.
And I was worried about like, oh, how difficult it is to get the perfect IV. It really doesn't matter that much to have the perfect Pokemon. I learned this from like watching Go PvP streamers and Go PvP content creators. They won't have the perfect Pokemon all the time. They'll have one that's like 98% good enough or like 99% good enough. And it really just doesn't matter.
I guess when every move is like, was it every 0.5 seconds or something?
That's every turn. Yeah.
Every turn is 0.5 seconds. Like, it doesn't actually change too much.
No, it's the IVs will only make a 10%. Like if you have perfect IVs or zero IVs, the maximum difference it'll make is 10%. But you'll never have zero IVs. So, yeah. The rest is on you, and it's your timing and your decision making and your move pool, etc.
That's interesting. Let's give one more here. Two more, actually. David says, taking days off at work is hard for me. Yeah, you kind of need to make it your year if you're planning on doing it like that, right? You have to book your vacation days and get your time off approved and all that stuff.
I'm in a very awkward situation where I can't book time off until the new year starts, and my schedule is done until February. So I now have to find out what I'm doing for Charlotte. I will find out, though. I will not be here, sir. You made me open and close on Christmas. You owe me. That's the excuse I'm working on now.
It's inner Kevin. I am in a fortunate enough position where like I don't have to be anywhere. I can just kind of continue to work from Charlotte if I really wanted to. So I feel for the people who have to be places like you do. Yeah, I mean, it's not super lucky in that I still have to work. And oftentimes that means that I'll be like locked away in the Airbnb until 5, where everybody else is out there playing Breath of the Wild all day or Tears of the Kingdom all day. And I'm just sitting there like on calls and stuff. And it's like, oh, well, I can't, my friends are right there.
I want to interact, socialize.
Yeah. So it's nice in that I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, but it's not nice in that I have to continue to worry about that stuff forever. Cool Hand XG says pregnant wife, 2 kids, money, excuses mostly. Question though.
Very good ones. Yeah.
Those are very good excuses if you're going to give any. Question though. Are you guys going to bring one of your VGC teams into the DLC or create a fun competitive team for it or what? I mean, I think both of us, we kind of create the fun team as we go through the DLC. I don't know if I've brought it into competitive in a while. I feel like I've fallen so hard into using rental codes that like, can I still team build? I kind of want to prove it to myself that I can.
I am the opposite.
Yeah,
I don't.
You don't.
I've gone through the.
Oh, you just level 100 Fluttermane your way through?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at the same time, I think I am not the best team builder. So it's almost like, okay, you cater to your strengths, you play what you're good at. And yes, you can try to improve, but you can also just take other people's teams, and there's nothing wrong with that.
You can also improve on other people's teams.
That too, yeah. That's fair.
Personally, that's where I think my strength is like if I have a good base, I can play enough games and be like, okay, this is a problem spot for me. This is a problem spot for me. If I switch this Pokemon out, which I just can't really use very well anyway, into this other Pokemon that I definitely can, then it turns into a violence team. But
eventually it'll work its way back to violence.
It all does. Yeah. And you know why? For the people who are new to Pokésports this year, every one of the teams that I bring into a regionals that I have either created or have iterated on somebody else's team, I name it violence, because when you choose it, it asks, do you want to choose violence? And yes, I do.
Yes, I do want to choose violence.
Yeah.
So what do you bring into Charlotte, Michael?
I have no idea. This is January 19th, right? Regulation F?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't even know what the Terra type does.
Ask me in a week and a half. I'll tell you. Anyway, that's been Pokésports.
This has been a podcast.
If you want to go and watch some very fun. Hold up. Does this even work anymore? Oh, the music doesn't even work anymore. If you want to go and watch some very interesting videos, head on over to the youtube.com/Pokésports channel, where you're going to be able to see Kevin do his absolute best.
Trying my darndest to make entertaining content. Oh, now they work.
That one works. That one and this one.
What other ones do you need? Oh, okay.
There you go. That one I actually did need. Anyway, that's going to be fun. Folks, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're ready for the Indigo disc next week. And by the next time you hear from us, we're going to be playing it. 'Cause, oh boy, here we are.
Whether we want to or not.
We'll see you then, folks. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.